Good morning, everyone. Let us all bow down to Shri Mataji, raise our Kundalini and put on a bandhan. And let us welcome Shri Mataji into our heart, into our brain and every cell of our body, so that we may experience a deep and meaningful meditation. Jai Shri Mataji. Good morning again to everyone. Let us start this morning's meditation with one mantra to Shri Ganesha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Let us put our attention on Shri Ganesha and listen to Shri Ganesha Tavashesha and ask Shri Ganesha to remove all obstacles in our path, in our ascent, so that we may be more in meditation all the time. Jai Shri Mataji, with our attention on the divine in our hearts.
Tvameva kevalam kartasi, Tvameva sarvam bhagidam brahmasi, Tvam sakshat atmasi nityam, Dhritam vakshi satyam vakshi, Avartvanam avarvaktaram, Avarshrotaram, Avartataram, Avartataram, Avaluthanam, Avashisham, Avapashatat, Avapurastat, Avotaratat, Avadakshinatat, Avajyotatat, Avadaratat, Sarvato mam vai vai samantat, Tvam Vangmaya Tvam Chinmaya, Tvam Anandamaya Tvam Brahmamaya, Tvam Satchidananda Vidyosi, Tvam Pratyaksham Brahmasi, Tvam Jnanamayo Vijnanamayosi, Sarvam Jagadidam Vato Jayate, Sarvam Jagadidam Vadashtishati, Sarvam Jagadidam Tvai Layameshati, Sarvam Jagadidam Tvai Pratyeti, Tvam Bhumi Rapo Analo Anilo Navaha, Tvam Chatvari Vatpadani, Tvam Gunatrayatitaha, Tvam Dehatrayatitaha, Tvam Kalatrayatitaha, Tvam Muladharasvitosi Nityam, Tvam Shakti Trayatmakaha, Tvam Yogino Jayanti Nityam, Tvam Brahma, Tvam Vishnu, Tvam Rudra, Tvam Indra, Tvam Agni, Tvam Vayu, Tvam Surya, Tvam Chandrama, Tvam Brahma Purvasvarom, Vanahim Purvamushaya, Vanahim Tadanantaram, Anusvara Paratara, Adhin Tulasitam Dharena Rutam, Edatava Manusvarupam, Ahara Purvarupam, Aharo Madhyamarupam, Anusvara Shandyarupam, Bindu Rudararupam, Nada Santanam Savita Savi, Sayasha Ganesha Vidya, Ganata Rishi, Nishrit Gayatri Chandaha, Ganapate Devata, Om Gam Ganapate Namaha, Ekadantaya Vidmahe, Vakratundaya Dhimahi, Tanno Danti Prachodayat, Ekadantam Chaturhasam Pasham Ankushayam, Pradam Cha Varadam Asayati Pranam Ushadvajam, Rakam Lambodaram Shurva Karnakam, Rakta Vasasam, Rakta Gandhanu Liptakam, Rakta Pushpai Supujitam, Vaktanu Kampinam Devam Jagat Karanam Achyutam, Amir Putam Cha Srisayado Ramate Purushat Param, Devam Jayati Yo Nityam Sayogi Yoginam Paraha, Namo Radhapataye, Namo Ganapataye, Namaha Brahmanapataye, Namaste Astu Lambodharaya, Ekadantaya Vidhanashine, Shiva Sudaya, Shri Varada Murtaye Namo Namaha. Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji, Shri
just let us take a few moments for that beautiful praise to Sri Ganesha to flow through gently into our being. Let us take our attention back inside and let us just quietly meditate for a few minutes before we start others talk. This morning I have chosen a video from the teachings of Her Holiness Mataji Devi from 1981, and it's called The Basics of the Left-Sided Problem. This was from Santa Cruz, the United States. Now I'm going to play about 30 minutes of it, and we'll be starting at 40 minutes into the video.
Now I've got vibration. Some people go to someone and feel heated up. Then they want to feel heated up more and more and more. This heat is coming from that man and is going to increase your heat all the time. And it is going to increase and increase and increase, and your chakras are going to be ruined completely by this. It has to be reduced, it has to come to the cooling point, and you must feel the cooling point. If you cannot feel the cooling point, then you must know that this man is absolutely wrong. Heat is not the sign of cleansing. When you are feeling heat here now, for example, it is because the cleansing is taking place. Once the cleansing is over, the cool breeze must blow in and you must feel the cool breeze. Now some people might feel absolutely cold, just like frozen. That's also not a good sign. That means you're left-sided. Some of you may feel that kind of a thing. It's not the feeling, the cold is the point, it's the feeling, the cool breeze. It's a breeze-like feeling that you get from my photographers will get. That's the way you have to judge yourself. You judge yourself, establish yourself, keep your chakras clean, and you'll be amazed how you become a master of the whole art. You will be able to give realization, each one of you, to thousands of people. So now in the second chakra when we come, is I would say is the chakra of your seeking. We call that as the second chakra because the third chakra comes out of it. It's a chakra in which you seek. It starts from very, very beginning. When you were a human being, you did not realize that you came to this stage in thousands and thousands and thousands of years. First of all, as any animal, what you do is to seek God in food. You just seek food. You are seeking food, you want to eat, and the whole thing is at Navi level, is at this point where you are just seeking the food, how to nourish yourself, how to look after yourself. The second seeking later on starts, some of the animals start becoming more alert by understanding that you have to be more intelligent. So they start seeking in power. They want to empower other animals and try to overcome them so that they can eat them, so they seek in power. Then the seeking goes even subtler and subtler, that they start seeking in money. As in human beings start seeking in money, in possessions and things. Animals don't have possessions, thank God. Because possessions means headache. You have to have insurance, you have to have this, you have to have that. So the human beings start getting the possessions and all these things, and they start going into this seeking. But the last and foremost seeking is of the very evolved is the seeking of the spirit, the seeking of God. This is the real thing that should happen to us when you are at that point of maturity. Then this happening takes place. Now, the other center that is coming out of that one is actually it's not shown here, but it comes out of that, is the center called as of Swadhisthana. It's the center by which you think, you organize for the future, you think. You organize for the future. You work out your action through it. Like we think. All the time what we do is nothing but think. I mean, planning is such a curse that we don't do anything about it. We just plan and keep it in the book. Or we have planned it. They think we have planned it, it's done already. It's not so. Now this thinking gives us a realm of future into which we enter in. when we start thinking, we do not know how we imbalance ourselves. In this area resides the principle of the primordial masters, as Gregor has told you. Now, when you start thinking, this center, the one you see, the yellow colored center, transforms the fat from your stomach for the use of your brain. Now, people are so much against fat these days that it would be really dangerous to talk for it. Now, from where are you to get the replacement of your brain cells? Tell me, if you are not going to consume any fat. As it is, your livers are out, so whatever fat you take any amount of fat, you will not have any weight. Try. Because that fat is the reserve for your brain which thinks all the time. You have to, do you know that this brain is made of fat cells? Do you know this or not? It's nothing but fat cells. In Sanskrit, it's called as Meda. And the whole thing is called as Meda, even the brain. Even your nerves are made of the fat cells. Now when you don't take it, any form of fat whatsoever, I mean, I'm told that lots of butter is lying here wasted. When I say I don't say you ate the mountain of it. No. What I'm saying, if you don't take at all any fat, then what you do is to make your body starve for the fat that is needed for one of the purposes is the brain and for your nerves. If you don't take fat in the body, you will be a nervous person. What is the supplement for your nerves? What are you going to supply? That's why you find, mostly to make it out in Westerner and Indian is very easy. You make them stand before any calamity. Alright? The Indian would be silently watching. The another would be going into complete, everything will be coming up. Or the eyes will be twisting, the nose will be going up and down, the ears will be going like that. They'll be all nervous. The reason is your nerves do not have any sustenance in it. That's lost because you just don't take any fat. Take little bit. I'm not saying the mountains. You see, if I say something, you may jump into the mountain of fat. That's not the point. But just to avoid completely the fat is a wrong idea. Creates an imbalance. Now this core center has to do double job. Firstly, it has to supply the fat to the brain. Secondly, it has to look after your liver on the right hand side. When it moves to the left hand side, your pancreas, your spleen, your kidneys and uterus. Can you imagine? All these things this poor thing has to do. Now if you are thinking all the time, then it is trying to find out all the fat globules it can get from everywhere to supply it in the brain. Alright. And if it does not get that, then it is a dangerous thing. But even if it gets it, then it is creating a problem for the other organs which it has to look after. That's how people get diabetes. You don't get diabetes because you eat sugar. It's a wrong idea altogether. I don't know from why the doctors have started this kind of a thing. For example, in India, people take sugars, at least half a kilo of sugar per day in the village, at least minimum. They eat more sugar than they eat rice. Take it from them. But nobody has diabetes. Why? Because they don't think. Whatever sugar they take is used for their liver. Now, if you do not give your liver any sugar, now ask anyone how the liver acts. Liver is the one that takes out all your poison. Now, this poison is to be taken out of the liver by water. Now, if you take the water and drink on top of that, what happens? That the hydrogen becomes heavier. I mean, there's H3 added to it, and the whole system of H2O, which has to be neutral, becomes like this, and you can't receive any heat into it. So the whole heat, which is the poison, accumulates in the liver. You get all kinds of liver problems, Practically, most of the Western people have liver problems, but they don't know it till they discover it. till they are absolutely on the verge of something very fatal, they do not discover a bottle. Now this hydrogen which pulls it down, you see, becomes like an arrow, doesn't receive anything from the liver, the heat. And such a person never gets any temperature. Even cancer acts same way. In cancer also the edge goes down very much, though it's a left-sided problem, which I'll tell you. But same thing happens, that the heat of the body cannot be taken out by water. So the water becomes a heavy water, you can say. But after realization, the hydrogen goes up like that, and you receive all the heat. And people who have bad liver feel terrible heat on the right-hand side. Now you have to take carbohydrates to neutralize that heat. You have to take carbohydrates. Now if you don't like sugar, eat rice. I mean, if there's some sort of a thing on your head. This also is an enterprise. I must tell you, these food stores are also another enterprise, which is very, very subtle. Very subtle enterprise. You see, as you had other enterprises of gurus, then you had of holidays, you see, some idea must have come. Then these, what you were the singers, musicians, were there, four of them, Beatles. You know, the one who created them, Beatles, his uncle has told me the story how he did it. It was all maneuvering to begin with. And that maneuvering made people mad, and that madness is still on. You see, people go on into that. It's all auto-suggestion and all those things, they work it out. They're psychologists, you see, and they know how to maneuver people and how to dominate. They know, and they manage it. They work it out on your weaknesses, like you do not know about food. Now, some of the health food I ate, it was not for human beings, it was for buffaloes, I felt. Really, some of the foods were so hard and so harsh. I got such a pain in my stomach. I said, no, this is not for human beings. This is for buffaloes. You are not buffaloes. You are human beings. You have to eat food which is digestible to your stomach. Of course, that doesn't mean you should use this white meat. Of course, that is not the thing which makes your liver completely sort of, or you can say the intestine sluggish. But you should not eat all the fodder of such a hard thing, like everything you cut because you want to preserve the vitamins. You will cut everything and eat everything like that. Japanese are the worst. Japanese are the worst. I mean, there's nothing that they don't eat. They eat everything that you could think of. I mean, you can't eat their food the way they eat. First thing they serve, such a hard thing, like everything you cut because you want to preserve the vitamins. You will cut everything and eat everything like that. Japanese are the worst. Japanese are the worst. I mean, there's nothing that they don't eat. They eat everything that you could think of. I mean, you can't eat their food the way they eat. First thing they served me at a very special banquet, where the princess was there and all that, was a shell with all these moss around it. See, for us Indians, as it is a little fussy about these things. And my daughters were there. I said, what is in there? It's a say, live. I said, live? We were all trying to know what is live. They said, the oyster or something is live inside. And they poked it and it started going like that. You see? So, oh God, how do we eat it? And the Japanese just twisted it down and ate it off, you see. And they eat everything raw. There was a boy who was eating peanuts. We asked him, what are you eating? He said, I'm eating these prawns. He was just feeding them out and eating them. Can you imagine? This is the way they eat their food, which is not meant for the human body. You have to cook. But your women are so busy with liberation, they don't cook. They don't cook. You should learn to cook to handle your husband. You see, if you know how to cook, it's very simple. In our Sahaja Yoga Center, we teach them how to cook. Because if you know cook, you are the master. You see, men are really so simple. I cook very well. I'm an excellent cook, I should say. But a gentleman came to see me. He was a German, and he told me that there was one German of a company that he told me, if you want to eat the best chicken, ask Mrs. Srivastava to cook for. That's my another name. And she's an excellent cook. I was surprised I had this reputation all over that I cook so well with chicken. And he came all the way, you see, and he brought the chicken with him. And he came all the way to cook with me and to eat it. And he was a very big man also himself. I was amazed to see that just to learn how to cook the chicken. He said, my wife doesn't know how to cook. Just imagine how helpless he was. All men are helpless as far as food is concerned. If you give them good food, you see, they may say, oh, we can eat whatever we like. But it's not so. If you know their tastes and things, and if you know how to handle that, it's very easy to handle. Like somebody told me, Indian men are very great cowards. I said, why? Because they don't know how to cook, that's why they don't divorce. Imagine to say such a thing. It's not that. They are very wise. What's this of changing every day a wife, you see? One wife she knows all about your habits, she knows everything, she knows how to cook for you. It's a good idea. We carry on very well as companions. Every time if you change, God knows she may come as a shrew, she may come as anything. You may lose your head with somebody, another may break your hand, another may break your leg. It's better to know one and handle her for this lifetime. So next time at least you don't face that time. It's very simple and wise way of living together to understand that in one lifetime only, if you live with one person, you develop that love, that attention, that understanding, because human beings basically are very good. If you live with somebody for 2 days, you will just see the superficial things of that person. That may not be good. So to get to the depth of a person, it's necessary you live with that person with a loving care, you see that person and you will discover how beautiful that person is. He is so beautiful sometimes that you're surprised. The other day, I had to go for something to a hospital. I mean, I never go to a hospital, but something happened and doctors were after my life, you must do this, you must do that. And my husband couldn't see that. He was so upset, he had never seen me like that. So he went back to his office, he put his head like this, and he was sitting there, didn't do any work and anything. When he came back, I was angry with him. I said, what do you mean by not being here? I was here and there were other people. But actually I knew what he was doing. So I went and told him, I know you ran away, you coward, you couldn't stand there. He said, it's true, I couldn't see it. And then his secretary told me, oh boy, he was horrid. He wouldn't talk to me, he wouldn't allow me to do anything. That's what happened. So to understand a man, it's such a great thing to love. I don't know if you realize that. It's such a great thing to love, to give. It's much greater than to have. Giving, I don't know if you have tried or not. All my life I've done nothing but giving. And I feel so happy about it. The real source of happiness lies in giving, not in taking. It's such a great thing to give. Give. And you'll be amazed you have no dearth of it. That is what one has to understand. But to think about what things I should preserve, what things I should give, what is there to think? If somebody likes to have it, doesn't it works out. Now, the second center is also of the Lakshmi center, because you asked me how to get the Lakshmi. Now, this is the center of Lakshmi, because Lakshmi is the deity of the center, and the deity actually who is the male side of it is the one who is the kinetic side. The power is the potential side, and the kinetic side is the male side. So, Lakshmi is the power of Narayana. Narayana is the deity whom you call as Vishnu. That's why Vishnu only incarnates. Because he comes for our seeking, he incarnates to give us our higher awareness. Always the Vishnu incarnates, or the aspects of Vishnu incarnate. And that's how we have been evolving one after another. For example, when Noah's Ark was built, it was Vishnu who came in the form of a dolphin fish and saved that Noah's Ark. And that's how we were saved. Then a tortoise form it came in to make the fishes come to the shore and start crawling on the Mother Earth. Like that, a leader is always born, and that leader is the aspect of God, is the incarnation. Now many will say we don't believe in it. So many are like that. We don't believe this, don't believe in that, don't believe in that. We believe in this and believe in this. Now how can you say that? First of all, know that you say this because you are conditioned for something. You have a fixation. When you say I believe in it, or you say I don't believe in it, you have not reached your absolute awareness, have you? How can you judge? You cannot judge. So you have to become that. Once you become that, you just put your hands and ask the question, was Vishnu an incarnation? Was it the aspect of incarnation that gives us our realization? You will start getting more breeze, and then you will know that it is so. But this fact about Vishnu, that he exists, you will only know after the realization. When you raise the Kundalini, and if the Kundalini stops at this point of Nadi, then you have to take his name. If you don't take his name, it won't rise. That's why the mantra is a very big science. To know first of all how the Kundalini is moving. You can say the mantra is like, to give it very gross example, is like a toll that you pay at every point. So when you go up to a gate, now you have to pass through that. Then you pay a toll. But somebody gives you a mantra before realization, it has no meaning. Because you have not started moving as yet. If your car has not started moving as yet, how can you pay the toll? Whom are you paying the toll? You are just paying the toll to the Guru, who is not listening. You have to go to that point where your Kundalini has stopped, which you can see yourself and feel it. And then at that point, you have to raise the Kundalini higher by saying that particular mantra, then at higher level, then at higher level. How the mantra is to be said, there's a science. This all can become yours in no time at all. And within 1 month's time, you all will be experts of Sahaja Yoga. Take it from me. When I went to Australia, I was hardly there for a month, I think. And then within 15 days, see, these people from television and all that, they came to see me. And they said, are your disciples all scholars? I said, not at all. Who told you they are scholars? Oh, they know so much. I said, because they have become knowledge now. You start learning from others when you start giving Kundalini, awakening and all that. You start learning what's happening, where is it going, how it is working out, how to maneuver. Unless and until you start driving the car, how will you become the master of the car? In the same way, you have to know everything, working it out, not thinking about it. Then people start analyzing, how can this be, how can that be. It's not analysis. It's actual working. Actually, you work it out. The thing flows from your hand and you are amazed. Oh God, the Kundalini is rising. Yes, you can see. It's come up. You can give realization. Those who got realization yesterday, today you can give that. What do you say to that? You are that fantastic. You are that fantastic. But know that you should not be shifty people. They say that Americans are very, very shifty people. And be careful on this character. See, everybody has a sign. Like that, you have a sign that you are shifty. While English are hard nuts. So, be careful. Do not be shifty. Settle down on your own spirit. Work it out. Learn about it and fix it up. I'm happy to see Michael has come all the way from Los Angeles. I was sorry I couldn't bring you the other day. I was feeling very sorry, and to see you here, I was so heartened and so happy that you have come here to work it out. This is how it should be. All right. So then we go. I mean, there's so much to be said about every center. You know that I have given at least 500 lectures in London alone, and there are tapes of my lectures available. I mean, we don't make any profits as usual, but you must also exploit us by taking the free tapes. You should pay for the tape itself, all right? The price of the tapes, and you can get the tapes from these people. We'll send you can copy it and give it to others. The way you want to sell it, you can do it. There's no restriction on anything, but one thing is definite, that you should not sell it at a profit. As I do not sell it for profit, you also don't sell it for profit. There is no exploitation of the disciple and no exploitation of the poor guru who is standing before you. Now, so we go to the...
We'll leave that beautiful talk of Shri Mataji's there, and let us continue on in meditation for a few more minutes. I'll put on a lovely bhajan. The divine song, Jago Hi Jaga Di Ma Kundalini. And when you're ready to finish up, bow down to Shri Mataji, raise your Kundalini and put on a bandhan. Jai Shri Mataji.
भक्ति अपार, तेरी शक्ति में चैतन्य लहरी संचार, तेरे चरणों में वंदन करे सारा संसार। जागो माँ जागो, जागो रे जगदम्बे कुंडलिनी माँ, जागो रे जगदम्बे कुंडलिनी माँ, बोल सहस्रार द्वार कुंडलिनी माँ, जागो रे जगदम्बे कुंडलिनी माँ, बोल सहस्रार द्वार कुंडलिनी माँ। सुख करता दुख हरता तू ही दानी, सुख करता दुख हरता तू ही दानी, जगदम्बा भवानी तू माता रानी, जगदम्बा भवानी तू माता रानी, त्रिभुवन के रचना की तू ही करता। जागो माँ जागो, जागो रे जगदम्बे कुंडलिनी माँ, जागो रे जगदम्बे कुंडलिनी माँ, बोल सहस्रार द्वार कुंडलिनी माँ, जागो रे जगदम्बे कुंडलिनी माँ, बोल सहस्रार द्वार कुंडलिनी माँ। ज्ञानी ध्यानी ऋषि मुनियों को तेरा आधार, ज्ञानी ध्यानी ऋषि मुनियों को तेरा आधार, सुर नर मुनि गुणियों में तेरी सरकार, सुर नर मुनि गुणियों में तेरी सरकार, सब देवों में सज रहा है तेरा दरबार। जागो माँ जागो, जागो रे जगदम्बे कुंडलिनी माँ, जागो रे जगदम्बे कुंडलिनी माँ, बोल सहस्रार द्वार कुंडलिनी माँ, जागो रे जगदम्बे कुंडलिनी माँ, बोल सहस्रार द्वार कुंडलिनी माँ। हम बालक है तेरे तू माता हमारी, हम बालक है तेरे तू माता हमारी, श्री गणेश की जैसे तू माता गौरी, श्री गणेश की जैसे तू माता गौरी, तू ही सांसों के सुरों की छेड़े सितार। जागो माँ जागो, जागो रे जगदम्बे कुंडलिनी माँ, जागो रे जगदम्बे कुंडलिनी माँ, बोल सहस्रार द्वार कुंडलिनी माँ, जागो रे जगदम्बे कुंडलिनी माँ, बोल सहस्रार द्वार कुंडलिनी माँ। तेरी शक्ति अपार, तेरी भक्ति अपार, तेरी शक्ति में चैतन्य लहरी संचार, तेरे चरणों में वंदन करे सारा संसार। जागो माँ जागो, जागो रे जगदम्बे कुंडलिनी माँ, जागो रे जगदम्बे कुंडलिनी माँ, बोल सहस्रार द्वार कुंडलिनी माँ, जागो रे जगदम्बे कुंडलिनी माँ,
Oh, that was beautiful. I realised it suddenly came to the end. Jai Shri Mataji. Have a wonderful day today. Thank you for joining in with us this morning. I certainly enjoyed your company. Before I go, could I ask that you put a bandhan around our son John Haynes? He's had some mental issues and needs a little bit of support. Thank you again. Jai Shri Mataji.